So we went into this taxi and we were taken to another community that was probably about 4 or 6 miles from where we originally lived. So we all looked through the crease in the wooden building. So we were able to look where the boards are joined. We were able to peer through where the boards are joined. And in looking through, we saw him passing. We saw him passing with a cutlass in his hand, and he was angry. When I was about 6 years old, and prior to that age, there was much discomfort at home because my parents would constantly be in conflict with each other. And it had gotten physical on many occasions. And at one point, I guess my mom decided that she was going to leave. But we were 6 kids in total, only 2 girls, and she decided that she's going to leave, but she would not leave the girls behind. So one day she waited until my dad left the house and she started packing a few things in some bags. And as soon as he left, she decided that it was time to make a move. We were not aware of it, of course. We were small. I'm 6, my sister is 7. And I was probably even younger, I'm not even sure, because everything is, I can vividly remember the day in question, but some of the drama that took place, I'm not able to remember quite well. However, I can vividly recall her telling us, we have to go. And she was acting in a very frantic manner, and I had no idea where we were going or why we had to go in a hurry that she was dictating. So she just picked up a few bags and ordered my sister and I to run. Don't stop running until we get to a particular point. So we ran about a quarter mile, breathless, nervous, scared because of the way in which she was moving. We didn't know, and she didn't explain anything to us at that time. Anyway, she took us to this boarded shop and asked the proprietor to let us stay in the building, and she's to hide us. Of course, we were wondering, why were we hiding? We don't know, we were confused. Anyway, the proprietor tried to console us. Probably my mom had told her something or explained why she was behaving the way she was. But the proprietor was quite calm in helping us to, be calm and to be quiet. And we sat there. We waited there for a while until my mother was alerted that her dad was passing. So we all looked through the crease in the wooden building. So we were able to look where the boards are joined. We were able to peer through where the boards are joined. And in looking through, we saw him passing. We saw him passing with a cutlass in his hand, and he was angry as he was mad. He was furious. He was stepping strong and brisk and holding a cutlass in his hand. And I can't recall if he was saying anything. I can only see him now walking past with the cutlass in his hand, stepping real pace. His steps were moving quite he was moving at a fast pace, right? We had to wait there a couple of hours until it was night before we could move. So we were there for pretty much a couple of hours hiding in the building. It was very nerve-wracking. It was uncomfortable for us. I felt pretty scared. I don't know why we had to be there. what was happening, why we had to be hiding from our father, why he was walking with a cutlass, why he was stepping so madly. However, we waited, and then her mom told us we have to go now. So we went into this taxi, and we were taken to another community that was probably about 4 or 6 miles from where we originally lived. And when we got there, we were introduced to this old lady. So apparently my mom had made arrangement for us to live with this old lady. It was a 2-bedroom house with a veranda, a living and dining in one, and there was no inside bathroom. Of course, it was an outside bathroom at that time. And my mom, my sister, and I, we had to sleep together. We never used to do that before, but we had to do that now. And that was our home for another 6 or so years. During that time, life was really challenging. My lizard story, where I was held hostage by a green lizard, happened in that area. I had to be very active, learning to be rough and tough to deal with the daily affairs of life to survive. And there were some pleasant moments. While we were there, we lived quietly. I never saw or heard from my dad. During that time, telephone was never ever prevalent. So getting a telephone call or any form of communication like that wasn't feasible, wasn't existing, it was non-entity. However, I remember one evening when we came home from school, my mom told me that there is a man, they were building this wall, this retaining wall on the roadside, the roadway, not far from where my school is, and we normally walk home every evening. And so one evening in question, she said to me and my sister, she said to my sister and I that there is a gentleman who is there building the stone wall, and it's your father. And so, of course, we became curious but nervous. But I remember one evening when I was coming home from school that I stopped and inquired of him, and I spoke. When he acknowledged himself, I spoke to him. I told him who I was, because in reality, when we are coming from school, we are walking in a group. So you're walking in a group, and there's no way he's going to be looking to say that's my child, or my child is walking with a group of students. Not only that, but by that time our features had pretty much changed, and he hadn't seen us in a couple of years. So I figure more or less that he wasn't looking to find us or anything to that effect, because he never came to the house before we made that connection. So basically, I went up and I introduced myself and I spoke to him. He was not very receptive at the time, because I guess he's upset with the fact that my mom, kidnapped us. And then he's probably wondering what is going through our minds, as it relates to him. So he was very cautious in speaking to us. However, every day when I was passing, or my sister and I were passing, we would stop to talk to him, and he started to become a little more warm and pleasant and friendly towards us. And he even started, leaving some of his lunch for us and giving us, a little cash to buy sweets and snacks. And so things were warming up a bit. But it was not a pleasant experience. Children are to be grown with their parents, and it was sad that you had to be separated. You don't get to grow to know the details, the ins and the outs of your parents together. And I think that has affected me significantly, especially that particular day when we were pulled from the house and had to be hidden, and the whole cutlass routine and all of that drama, it was just not pleasant. And then the way we were reintroduced or reconnected was not pleasant either. However, we got past that, and he started visiting where we were living until some sort of rekindling took place, and we went back home. Shortly after that, when I experienced those two murders that happened at my doorstep. If you have never watched that video, I'll leave it in the description below so you can have a look at it. I witnessed two murders really in one day at age 11, right at my doorstep. So until I share another story with you, I just want to tell you thanks for stopping by. Thanks for subscribing to my channel if you have already done so. And if you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate having you, being with me, giving me the support so that this channel can keep going. So until I share with you some other interesting story from my past, take care. And as they always say in Jamaica, walk good. Until next time, bye. Okay? It won't stop. Stop. It's crazy, right? It won't stop. All right.